Less than 24 hours after the Tongan Invitational 13 rocked the Great Britain Rugby League Lions, it's now the turn of the amateur Lions, the community Lions, to hold their heads high for the red and white. They face the New Zealand Maori Residents 13 at Rotorua's International Stadium on a glorious summer's afternoon over this Labour weekend, where the past 48 hours there has been the National Maori Rugby League Tournament. And just minutes ago, the Ngati Umatahi have won the Wahine Tour competition, and man, Richie Barnett, it has been an absolutely stunning day here in Rotorua already.
Yeah, great to see the Kiwi Ferns in there too. Crystal Rota,
Honey Hidemu
was there, so there's plenty of ferns around, but a great event to boot. Obviously, with the New Zealand Maori playing against the community Lions, would be outstanding.
And there is a real sense of community around here with the National Maori Rugby League Tournament. What did we learn on Thursday night in Taupo about these community Lions?
Yeah, they've got, obviously the conditioning's great. They were a lot quicker, they spread the ball quite a lot. I think they had real belief, and I think just the whole passion of coming to New Zealand and playing against a different style of game, I think they welcome that, and they're in good shape, I've got to say.
And for some of them, sun's out, guns out. Let's take a look at the community Lions as they line up today here at Rotorua's International Stadium. No Freddie Walker, he's the one with the guns out. It's Hayes coming into fullback. Gale, Fran King, the captain. Lazenby, the very talented centre, and Tier on the wing. Dixon and Spaven in the halves. Glenn, O'Brien, Wilson, Kennedy. Riding comes into the lineup, and Siddons there, coached by Richard Owen, who's with Wairangi right now.
Coach, welcome to Rotorua. How's New Zealand been treating you? I heard it was cold down in Taupo.
Oh, it's fantastic. People really friendly. Yeah, the conditions, it's like we're in two different countries actually between Thursday and today. But yeah, we're enjoying this a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. Your tight turnaround. What did you take out of, or what did you learn from Thursday's game?
Yeah, the conditions, a little bit more difficult than they looked. I thought through the camera when I watched the game back, we could see just how windy it was, and I thought we executed very well in those conditions, and I also thought the New Zealand team did as well. What have we took from it? We just got off the plane. You could see it was a little bit rusty in a few areas. I thought we didn't push through the play enough. There's a couple of times, certainly our edges didn't get honest enough on the push, and I think we've worked a little bit on that in the sessions this week, leading into today's game.
You guys attended the Great Britain Lions match versus Tonga last night. So a little bit of motivation to maybe take the win here today, and in honour of them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the atmosphere there was fantastic. I thought Tonga were really good. Yeah, Great Britain fell a little bit short, but I'm sure they'll be working hard this week to fix it up for the Kiwis next week.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
So this is the New Zealand Maori Residents 13 as they line up. A number of very talented players in this side will play for the New Zealand Residents against the Community Lions at Trust Stadium on Friday. Rangi, Doyle, Ledger, Rangi, Connell, King and Wallace, Taurua, Purcell, Friendslade, Tuitama, Vasufulangi and Lee. They're coached by Sean Clark.
Sean, you played 3 games for the Senior A's point chef this year, didn't get the call up. What was that all about?
Yeah, sorry mate, didn't make the cut. Yeah, age was a factor.
How's the preparation been this week?
Yeah, boys are really gelled. Young boys, a lot of energy, a lot of, really enthusiastic to represent Māori. Yeah, really good camp. Food's been good.
You would have got a good look at this side who played against the North Island selection on Thursday. Did you see some weaknesses you could target for today's game?
Yeah, up and unders. High kicks, they weren't very good under the high ball. So yeah, we'll definitely be looking at doing that today into the sun, definitely.
Anybody who we should look out for today? Who's going to win the game for New Zealand Māori Residents?
Ooh, Wairangi. He'll go close. He picked up Auckland Player of the Year. But he also, Marcel Connell on the wing would be another one I think we'd have to watch out for. But our experience as well, Jeffro Friend. There's quite a few boys. Francis Ledger, another one. Yeah.
Good luck today, Coach.
Thank you.
dozen renditions of the national anthem, albeit instrumentals rather than with vocals. But a lovely start here for this international crash, the second on the England Community Lions tour of New Zealand, and what a visit they have. They play the New Zealand residents as well on Friday in West Auckland, and will attend the big triple header coming up at Eden Park, all live on Sky Sport as well. Great Britain against New Zealand, and of course Samoa against Fiji, Australia against Tonga. The teams are just swapping. They'll be playing left to right, the England Community Lions, as we get underway here today. Very special occasion here. Of course, Maori Rugby League has had interactions with Great Britain, as mentioned, going way back to 1910 when they first played against each other. But interestingly, we have players whose fathers represented as well in this New Zealand Māori lineup as we await the haka from New Zealand Māori. Delivered to the England Community Lions. It's been a real feature of the weekend here in Rotorua. Each team performing a haka that's symbolic to the tribes and hapu that they represent, and it creates this wonderful magic, this celebration of cultural identity. It is a real feature of New Zealand sport. Paki Parkinson's in control of the action here today. Game 2 on the Great Britain Community Lions tour of New Zealand on a glorious day in Rotorua. Great to have you along here on Sky Sport, bringing you more rugby league than ever before. Beside me, Richie Barnett, sideline today, Wairangi Kōpū. And Richie, after seeing them in Dopor and really getting the cobwebs out, first time in New Zealand for all of the touring squad, except for the coach who came with a Bala team, a British amateur rugby league squad, about 12 years ago. So a wonderful opportunity. There's our koro. It's my granddad, Steve Watene, captain to 36 Kiwis, went on to be a member of Parliament, sadly taken too young in 1967, and that's the trophy that is played for annually in the Tuakana tournament here for the Rohe section. That bears his name. We're proud to be involved in rugby league for many years now, and I thank Sky Sport for the opportunity to call the game that our family have grown up with. And pleased to be working alongside two proud Māori men too, and Richie Barnett and Wairangi Kōpū. No doubt to Miki Kakorua. We're about to get underway. You know, there's a lot of emotions go through when you're playing Māori Rugby League, bearing in mind the history, the notable players that have turned out in the proud colours. Green, black and white. There's Jethro Friend, his old man. Clayton played in the 1983 team that toured Great Britain as well. Alongside him, his uncle, Dean Bell, Hugh McGahn. Like many sports, genealogy plays its part, whakapapa as it's termed in Te Reo Māori. And there are many connections to be made here, including one as well
Just make sure they time it out there.
His dad and granddad also played. This is Mahingarangi. He's playing jersey number 4 from the Taniwharau Club in the Waikato. His dad and granddad played for New Zealand Maori, so a tradition well set there. We're about to get underway.
Time to run!
So the England Community Lions back in action here in New Zealand. A warm welcome to their friends and family too, visiting as the captain takes it in and immediately gets the grunt work from Konatotua Purcell. He'll be wanting to make his mark early as well, and a knock on, so New Zealand Maori quick to celebrate. Great field position. Richie Barnett's with us today.
They have just got to deal with the intent of the Māori side. They're coming out with real purpose. They've just got to weather the storm. The Lions really impressed, actually, with their first up performance, having to travel so far and pull out a performance like we saw last weekend. Chris Siddons was the player of the day last week in Taupo. He was fantastic at 13.
30-18 win after leading 14-0. Bit of a comeback from the North Island squad they'll be watching today. And they can hold their heads high for their effort as Māori get hold of the ball, and working on the right edge is Matt Tuitama. He's had a wonderful season in 2019. And dummy half work here for Jethro Friend. Straight back and into the action, angling up as well. The Community Lions forced to put the defensive work on. Kerry Men in 15, look at him or for him. Put on a lot of work as Māori try and create something on the right-hand side, and quick as you like, a try to Geronimo Doyle on the right edge. Wonderful start for the home team.
Brilliant work there from the New Zealand Māori side, particularly with Francis Ledger, the most experienced in the side. He comes across with that delivery in and away, and that little offload to the right to Geronimo Doyle, the Otahu player. Look at this. Shift the ball quick, a little bit of an out ball, and a nice little shift on to Geronimo Doyle.
Francis Ledger with the popped pass. Well, 1 minute had gone, but think back to the hit on Fran King, and the pressure applied, the turnover of possession, and then capitalising on field position. A great start for New Zealand Māori. Sideline is Wairangi Kopu, my apologies, Wairangi. Great to have you in the commentary today. How ho whakaro tēnā kēmu?
Yeah, tēnā kōrua, te aroa waka, te aroa tangata, karanga mai, yeah. The last words for the Maori residents in their haka, kua takoto te manuka. The challenge has been laid before them, and the Great Britain Lions have definitely faced up that challenge in the first minute of this game. It's been a fantastic start, and it's that combination that we saw on the right edge there between Matt Tuitama and also Francis Ledger. Point share Pirates know each other's play very, very well. There is a slight breeze down here at ground level at the backs of the Maori residents team, which should favour them in the kicking game.
Well, on Thursday in Taupo, it was the visitors who scored after 4 minutes. In fact, they climbed into their work, and as mentioned, another try coming midway through that first half for a comfortable lead at half-time. Now they'll have to work from behind on the scoreboard. Early days, obviously, as we see the conversion attempt being taken from wide out. It'll be a good if he slots this one. Hits it pretty nicely, and it's trumps the goal slotted from wide out. Great start here for Māori. They're up 6-0. Geronimo Doyle with that conversion. He plays for the New Zealand residents as well as the Otahu Club up in Auckland. Hails from Whakatohia. Similar to his people who will be looking on with great pride. A try and a conversion from out wide for Geronimo. One of the best names in local rugby league, if you ask me. Māori get hold of the ball, and it's wind-up time. This is a charging effort from Solomon Vasvalangi. A little run. Solomon led the North Queensland Cowboys 20s last year.
Hold here, hold! Go, 2.
So defensive work important here as Total Purcell once again carries in strongly. Ryan Wilson across the top for the tackle. Midway 30 and 40, and a darting run. We'll see plenty of this from Jethro Friend. He's a cagey rake, great distributor, but he also looks up and looks for that triangle that hookers like to capitalise on, and a little mistake from Trent Wallace will give the Community Lions a scrum feed pretty much on halfway.
That certainly will be a matchup, Dale. Jethro Friend and Marcus O'Brien, who played extremely good last weekend. But Jethro, with all the experience, very knowledgeable player. He's crafty. He's certainly got years of experience and know-how there.
Let's go, boys. Nice and tight.
Jethro playing for the Howard Hornets Club, who took out the local club competition in Auckland Domestic League. It's a proud trophy, the Fox Memorial Championship.
I'm not happy with this. It's not good enough. Need your head tight
Bucky
and arm over.
Darkinson letting both teams know of his expectations with the whistle today.
Much better. 2 hands on it, mate. And
Hot conditions here in Rotorua.
that's okay.
As the Community Lions get hold of the ball. Danny Riding's in 16. He's got it now. Just inside enemy territory.
Right here.
The referee wants to quick play the ball. Everyone's looking to get their hands on the leather as well to settle themselves down. Kieran Glenn gets turtled. Not quite what the prop forward would have wanted. Marcus O'Brien was clever and creative on Thursday night in Douport. Carl Dixon now with the ball, and he's centre field as O'Brien looks down the left edge. Pretty decent D here, sliding defence as well from NZM. Maori through the hands once again. Solid hit from Brandon Lee, who comes in to put the big work in on the number 20. Ryan Wilson.
Get off that ball, mate.
Dixon. The kick out wide. This is a testing one, and it's taken pretty well, but
Escort. You pushed him off the ball, mate.
escorting is the
Go and
call.
push him off the ball.
It was certainly escort. I thought it was the other way around too. New Zealand Māori player, Marcel Connell,
Escort.
coming across and some great work there. But you can see he was pushed out of the way.
There's the fullback here, Wyatt Vangi. Comes with some great credentials. The Fox Memorial Player of the Year. Very exciting, young speedster. And can climb high on the big ones as well. Look for Carl Dixon here from the Rothbro squad in England. He and Scott Spaven in 6 and 7 respectively. Both experienced. Some pretty decent nous as well. They'll have to be thinking their way through this game as well. It's not going to be won by barge and bash, although Toto Purcell likes it that way. Sideline with you, Wayne.
Yeah, indeed. And to be fair, the Great Britain Lions pack is like six Tom Burgess is running around out there. There's some big men. Should get a little bit hot for that pack though, and I'm sure that if Jeff Friend gets an opportunity like we saw earlier, he'll take it.
Trent Wallace plays the ball. Vasafalangi gets back into the mix and finds Glenn.
Hold here, hold.
A little bit of trouble at the back for Chris Siddons. Might have been friendly fire, but both get up, hanging their heads. Dusty and referee Parkinson's a bit concerned. There's a few players down here.
Tackle 4.
It's like a battlefield at the moment. There's gashed heads. Well, that's a shocker.
Tackle 5. Last one here.
And we'll need some running repairs here.
Sorry?
A heap of blood coming out from the 22, Dave Kennedy. And that's his claret there on the back of his teammates. A head clash of massive proportions.
Just the collision with two of their teammates, actually. You can see it here, the knocking of heads there, just that fraction before that frame.
We salute the bravery of these men. You're closer to that one. Wailangi, how did you read it?
Yeah, just unfortunate for those two boys who wrapped around the back and obviously clashed heads. Yeah, a fair bit of claret coming out of the nose of one of the Great Britain Lions players there. Well, I think it's the nose anyway, but it's a little bit disappointing for them.
More than just some running repairs here. I think there's a big gash in the forehead of Dave Kennedy. Not what you want to see, but of course the game with inherent risks. Happy Māori boys in there, and they've got New Zealand Māori Rugby League balls, so they'll be able to take them home, put them in their bed, tucked up by their pillows. You know, a kid, he just couldn't get enough footballs, so his old man put about a dozen of them into the cot, so every time the kid rolled around, he'd find another football, and he could only sleep if he could have his hand on a footy.
You're going to have to deal with the Solomoni Vasafalangi on that left edge. A monster of a man. Really cuts the ball extremely well. It's a fantastic season. Tui Tamatu. He's had a brilliant season.
So they'll get the tape out here, I think, on Dave Kennedy. Maybe someone needs to go sideline. They're cleaning it up pretty well.
Yeah, Marcus O'Brien, the hooker there for the Great Britain community side, has come from the field with a pretty busted up nose. They'll treat him on the sideline. He possibly could get back on the field.
Whatever happened to that bandage that you wrap around?
Yeah.
That awful look.
sometimes the injuries look worse than they end up being. Running repairs on the field here, so a bit of a halt in play. Just getting back to Vasuvalangi, he runs strong angles, but also, you know, he really powers forward. He's got big thighs, and once he hits the line, he doesn't let go, does he? He just keeps charging, and the defender is forced to backtrack.
That's right. Postline meters is huge for this enormous human being, Solomon Vasuvalangi, and that's what they've got to deal with, the size out wide, but the craftiness, again, as we've seen before, dealing with the ability to play ball on the edges. So defensively, they've got to be on their money, particularly on the edges. It was mentioned before, particularly the centres and King and Lazenby. And then you've got the back rowers in Kennedy and Riding.
7 goals, 6-0. That was a replay of the try after just 1 minute. Maori with the football now, and it's onto the boot of Trent Wallace. He left foot it deep. It's gone backwards, so the Community Lions will survive that raid so far. A bit of work for them to do here, and down a little on numbers as a result of that clash. Marcus O'Brien was such a leader, and so having him off the field will be to the detriment of their attacking strategies. Now we get to 12 metres out for the Community Lions. You're trying to create something down the right edge. The skipper, Fran King, is rolled to ground by Mahingarangi. Good to see a couple of Waikato men involved here for Sean Clark. Of course, with the tournament being played this weekend, obviously they couldn't choose the squad off the back of the tournament, so they had scouts right around the country. And we've got a few in as well, including Caleb Tauwaka from Ngaitahu and Hornby. This is Doyle once again. He's strong. Doyle, 10 metres in for the eastern touchline here, broadcasting from the western side as Waikato comes in to get his hands on the football. 25 out from the line. Everyone's putting their hand up, including Matty Tuitama. Strong carry. Purposeful run from Tuitama in great form as well in 2019. To the right, it is Wallace once again. Onto Ledger, who is superb. And then Trent Wallace could see an opening, but he loses the football as he's heading towards the try line. Fortunately for the Community Lions, they're out into the field of play. 5 out from their own line.
The Lions are struggling to get some yardage through the middle. The line speed of the New Zealand Māori side has been fantastic, and they have to come up with another plan or a different approach. But they got to roll their sleeves up.
Well, they know they're in a battle here, don't they? As Ryan Wilson plays the ball, and a penalty will be just the ticket here for the Community Lions. Will get a chance to send it downtown as we go sideline with Wairangi.
Yeah, they really needed that penalty, did the Great Britain community side. Speaking to the Maori camp before the game started, they sort of, not that they needed a reason to be aggressive, but they saw how the Tongan side were last night against the Great Britain Lions test side and thought it was a good approach for them coming into this game, just really dig into this Great Britain side earlier on in the match.
Hold on.
And still, despite the bandaging, a bit of blood still leaking from the wound. That'll take some attention for the medic sideline. England Community Lions now with the football, and Kieran Glenn gets hold of it.
Stand now. Give space. Hold. Go. 2.
They're rotating the squad that have come 12,000 miles to visit here in New Zealand, and now the Community Lions getting themselves into better field position, into the hands of Carl Dixon, who takes it forward. Friend closes him down though, just 20 metres out from the try line. Some creativity coming into the run from Danny Hurst. He too is wrapped up. This time it's Darren Kingy who makes the tackle 8 metres out from the try line. Dummy half work for Dixon. He'll go to the right side. This is better and mounting some pressure.
10 by 10, mate.
And a little knock on. And a turnover is the call here from Paki Parkinson. New Zealand Māori on the 10-metre line.
Quite like that play. Danny Riding just kept coming on the line hard. Just desperate to get through there, and that can create opportunities. You can see the winger coming in. And it posed some opportunities. Not a bad play there, not a bad set there from Community Lions.
Just another little breakdown of play here. It looks like there's an injury here to Mahinga Orangi, who is on his knees and needs a little attention. Yeah, there was some creativity in there and just looking to mix things up. The little flick ball wasn't far wide of the mark.
No, certainly not far off. I'm sure they've been very creative in the first game against the Northland 13. They showed a lot of enterprise. They played with a lot of pace. They're struggling here with the fact that the defensive qualities have certainly lifted the standard and they're shutting them down, limited space. So they'll deal with it. It's hot out there, and I think that's what people don't understand. I think Wai would give us a fair indicator of what that looks like.
Marcel Connell from the Ellerslie Eagles to the ball, and then on to Totoa Purcell.
Okay, let him up.
Captains his club team. He gets up annoyed with the decision, but the Community Lions are pretty happy with their work. And they're in with an opportunity in great field position, Wairangi.
Yeah, Richie's right, Dale. It is fairly warm out here in Rotorua. Beautiful day. If you like sun tanning like some of the English fans have turned up here to do, but other than that, yeah, it could get a little bit hot later on in the game, just relieving the pressure there. The New Zealand Maoris coming up with an error. This is where the Great Britain Community Lions want to be, because that wind is blowing quite heavily into their face and kicking is becoming a little bit of an issue.
They're doing well at the moment to be in strike zone, and they'll work the left edge, looking for something, and with the football and a darting run, a wonderful effort as well. So the Community Lions are in to score. And around they come underneath the posts, just what they were after. Ben Hayes is in jersey number 21. He's the fullback, chimed in nicely.
He's just coming for Freddie Walker too, had a blinder of a game last week. So Ben Hayes comes in and showed a ton of pace here. Just look at that, giving a little bit of space and just using his speed to get out of ledger, around ledger. He's a slight player, but he's certainly got the pace.
Well, that'll be just the ticket there for the coaching staff. Richard Owen in particular, as Ben Hayes gets a congratulations from his teammates. And of course he brought it around to make the conversion even better. Doyle was wonderful from the sideline, but this should be no problem from right to the left-hand side of the posts. Just what the Community Lions were after. Come down to Wairangi in a moment after the conversion. 13 gone, 6-4. Are we even? Stevens will wait and see as the big left footer shapes up to drive it home. Ryan Wilson guides it through beautifully, and as you see, a cloudless sky. Plenty enjoying the action. Jumping down and some cooler as well. A few power fritters. They're having a bit of fun here at the National Maori Tournament, Wairangi.
Yes, indeed, and the raw fish as well. Dale, don't forget that. It was a nice play there from the Community Lions. And Captain Francis Ledger of the New Zealand Maori Residents was filthy out of himself because he sort of didn't give himself enough space and the pace from Hayes, the fullback there, just to get around him. I'm sure he won't make that mistake again.
His friend, as we look on with the connection, sideline at the moment.
Out there.
Waiting for his chance to come in. So the Community Lions taking the ball in. It was Hayes who retrieved it. Some big units have come across from the other side of the globe with the support of their own community clubs. It's a self-funded tour here, amateur players. As we were speaking or listening to those, turners, they're all working men, but they funded their own trip this time with the help of their families and their community clubs. It's great to have them out here. It's been a long time since the amateur team have been in New Zealand. They were squared up here in this, their second match on tour. 6-all after a quarter of an hour. Sending it deep is Scott Spaven. Now Wyatt Rangi, fleet-footed, little shimmy as he goes to ground as well. So through the middle, the Maori team. Carl Dixon getting involved in his defensive work.
Hold! Go to.
Drop off, and now on the run, Tyler Slade. Captained the Warriors under-20s this year. Tyler,
Wait on.
the fine player from Ngāpuhi. And also a junior Kiwi this year. Totoa Purcell puts the shunt and grunt into his effort. He's down on the 30-metre line. They'll work at the short side this time. Darren Kingy pushes the pass across to Langi. Great defence as well. The community Lions getting up in their faces. Dummy half work for Connell. Little step from Kingy this time. He dummies once, twice, gets the ball away. Beautiful pass, a spinning effort, but well defended in the end. Ben Hayes was able to keep Slade at bay.
The last tackle here.
Great play by the community Lions to halt the run for Maori, who looked very threatening.
Oh, absolutely threatening. Darren Kingy coming through on the back end of some good offloading there. Carl Dixon from the community Lions come up with a great defensive effort just early on, and they repelled them again. So great defensive effort there from the community Lions.
Okay, together 12. Give room. Hold.
I think the Maori side have to do a little bit better on those fifth tackle options. They got themselves right in the corner. So Darren Kingy didn't actually have too many other options, which meant the Great Britain community Lions could shoot up out of the line and put as much pressure on him as possible. Something that maybe think of later in the game.
Give him room.
So Dave Kennedy, heavily strapped, he'll gets up to play the football, and the community Lions building in confidence as they warm to their task here this afternoon. Tony Burns with it now. He's to his feet on the 30-metre line. To the right-hand side they come, carrying Glenn, a one-out run picked off by Wallace.
Wait in, Matty.
So again, just looking to create some momentum.
Thanks, mate.
As the opportunity to put it downfield comes off the boot of Dixon, rolls end over end, and it takes a while for Marcel Connell to get hold of the ball. He centres it up now, tries to go around the outside, and a wonderful chase as well from Dave Kennedy.
He's got to get his arms out. He's got to get his arms out.
Well, you can see straight away the speed of Connell coming across the field. He makes yards look so easy. He's got a ton of pace. Get him to open football, and this kid will get through at ease. Look at this, just acceleration there, and he's picking up his back end speed here. It's not a bad tackle. Pretty harsh. Is that Dave Kennedy?
Yeah, and Paki Parkinson just wanted arms in there as well. He kicked towards the entrance there. A waharo, beautifully carved here at the International Stadium. The tap by Geronimo Doyle. Into his work comes Tuitama. Lazenby was one of the best on Thursday in Taupo. And this is great team. Not the result that Maori wanted, Wairangi.
No, indeed. I suppose I thought the tackle might have been called there. Feet off the ground, etc. But great work there from the community Lions, just getting numbers in the tackle and driving Tuitama into touch. Just a quick update. Marcus O'Brien, the hooker who came off with the broken nose, he's got to change of jersey, boys. So he's number 26. We've just seen Chris Siddons come off the field. He was a little bit crook after coming out of a tackle the wrong way. And Jamie Tracy has gone on a number 11.
Thanks very much. Tracy scoring a try on Thursday night as well. So did Siddons. So a bit of claret on the shirt, and now in jersey number 26, Marcus O'Brien. One of the important cogs in the wheel here from Cumbria, from Millentown. He plays for the Egremont club. Tough player, experienced. Might take a backward step, that's for sure. Coming out to quarter game time, 6 apiece here in Rotorua. Game 2 of the Lions tour. Gareth Gale gets an opportunity. Hasn't had the ball too often, Gareth. Working down the right edge. And Totoa Purcell working hard here, so the community Lions are centre field. Big chance on the 30-metre line. Crafty run from the 25. A decent old carry as well from Ryan Wilson, who is to his feet now. Action for Jamie Tracy.
Scoreline's here. Go, full. They're all retreating.
And everyone's wanting to get their hands on the football at the moment. Isolated somewhat with it is Carl Dixon, although he does keep it alive. This is where they were dangerous down the left edge. And again, it's Tracy showing a willingness
Let him go.
and a toughness as well. There's plenty of Maori defenders were there to try and halt the run. That's a good ball. Here's a big chance, and Carl Dixon looks close for me. Paki Parkinson checks with his touchies. And he'll say it's okay, right underneath the posts. Well, a last second delivery to Dixon just gave him a run, but he still had a little work to do. And he's in to score the Community Lions' second try.
Nice offload. Carl Dixon scores the try, but the offload prior to that was superb. Tony Burns, I think it was, he charges up and just shimmies to the right and throws a pass, curls his body around, pops the ball up, and in great support. What a lovely try. Look at that. Foresight to be able to throw that ball back, and of course, your halves in place to collect the ball.
Tony Burns looks like he's got some good stuff to share with us here this afternoon. Richard Owen will be pleased with that. We're taking a few knocks. His Jethro friend is in talking to his teammates. He's worrying the side. I suppose broken nose is part of forward play. Had yours whacked a few times, boy?
Oh, too many times to remember, Dale. Still gorgeous, though, obviously.
Well, it is beautifully flat, if that's what you mean. No problem with the kick, as expected. Great to have you along here on Sky Sport. What a month of footy we are witnessing here in NZ. Get your tickets for the triple header after last night's amazing victory by the Tonga Invitational squad. I'm sure there'll be Tongan flags aplenty when they line up against the Aussies. That's coming up in the triple header. Maori playing, New Zealand, of course, hosting the Great Britain Lions. That's game number 2 of the triple header, and the early game see Samoa up against Fiji. So get your tickets. It'll be a good old night at Eden Park. Geronimo Doyle gets us started here. New Zealand Maori with a bit of work to do. The momentum's been with the Community Lions, but they're forced to play. And they've played strong. And this man has contributed greatly as well since coming on, Jamie Tracy. He's offering them plenty. Danny Hurst, the distributor, and at the moment, Marcus O'Brien with Dusty on it. Totoa Purcell continues to work hard. Through the hands, and now the Community Lions trying to open up on the left edge. Tuitama is across to halt the run, so is Doyle. He's upended to Lazenby. A ton of skill, Lazenby. Of course, he's got great feet. The West Hull Amateur Rugby League Club, Lazenby. Get another look at the talented Maori defence effort. Here's Jethro Friend going strong, and Vasuvalangi's downstairs on the tackle. He's created a few problems, the big second rower, and now the ball is played down into the end goal. Doesn't bounce kindly for the tourists, but Wyatt Valangi again looks a little like a jack-in-the-box the way he moves. Not dissimilar to Tuivasa Shek, and it can work in their favour.
Makes a massive difference, the urgency from the fullback to get to that ball quick. You can see the speed of Wyatt Rangi come through, and it just changed the game completely.
One of many players from the Apui Iwi here in the Maori jerseys today. A number of them, including Tyler Slade and Matty Tuitama. Vasuvalangi have connections up there as well as Mahiarangi. Marcel Canal. Good to see some Tariwharo players. They won the Waikato competition as well. Alfred Brown, captain of the Waikato regional squad in the New Zealand Maori jersey this weekend as well. So they're with the ball now on the 30-metre line and about 10 in from the eastern touchline here at the International Stadium. First receiver is Rangi, and Trent Wallace finds himself under the watchful gaze of Jamie Tracy, who sorts him out 25 metres out from the try line.
Good to see Chaz Brown on. He had some real directness on that left edge. And geez, they need to get the ball to this man. He's just been so dominant. He's starved of the ball.
Well, Vasuvalangi is allowed to play on, and I tell you what, he almost bulldozes his way through the middle. Talk about breaking up the Lions' pack. My goodness. Decent run. Here's the penalty as well. Bentley Lions are mindful of the quick tap. Jethro Friend backs it up just a bit. Here's the tap and the charge from Totoa Purcell. It's that simple. Big Connor says, I'm going through, and he charges across the line for try number 2 for New Zealand Maori.
That's fantastic play. Toru Purcell coming through. He must have saw the hangi on the other end. Outstanding. He just so robust, the Otahu player. Plenty of experience. But look at this, just direct. Player came up as quick as they could to meet him. Toru Purcell, but to no avail. Look at this, too high for the youngster. The power game of Toru Purcell.
Did you suggest that they've got a hangi placed behind the dead ball line and that the big fella was smelling it and decided that he wanted a bit of it as well, Richie?
No doubt about that.
That would be a great tactic, boys. Just you actually put a hangi down in there behind the goalpost, and then let the Maori side run towards it as much as possible. It could be trouble for the second half, but
I'm sure. Run to the steam, boys. Run to the steam. We're in Rotorua. You'll be going around in circles. So what should we put at the other end for the Community Lions, do you think, Wairangi?
some Yorkshire puds.
Okay, that sounds fair enough.
Jelly deal.
What do you mean, jelly deal?
Jelly deal, yeah. It's one of the meals that they like in England. Okay. I've even tried it. It's horrible.
There you go. You get black pudding. There's Geronimo Doyle to add the extras in good field position. Connor Purcell. He just was full of intent there, as old man Steve will be watching on with great pride. Especially the front on shot, you know, aggressive. Crowd enjoying it today. Decent wave as well. So Maori residents and the Community Lions from England locked up at 12 apiece. Kāpai, Rawatu, I say, which is an extension of that's good. It's like it's very, very good for New Zealand Maori.
Yeah, mate.
About to get underway here, the restart, 28 minutes gone. This is the first half action.
Contact.
Good, powerful run.
Okay, move together.
Forcing the big men to get in and do their work. Tony Burns pulls off. Dave Kennedy has worked hard as well on D. Stepping is Dewey Dama.
Move now, 22.
This is the Port Chevalier squad as well. Very consistent he's been, Matthew. It's been a handful of total Purcell today.
Stand up. Give him space. Go, 3.
So working Darren Kingy, Chaz Brown. You see him leading the haka too, Chaz. That's a powerful carry for him.
Go, 4.
Ngati Raukawa and representing the Glenora Bears from Auckland's West. Tyler Slade now, getting up to play the ball. Gavin Roden is in jersey number 19. Darren Kingy kicks. Ben Hayes will have no problem in front of his post. And not sure that there was great communication with the teammates after the kick.
Wait on. Go.
As the saying goes, the kick's only as good as the chase. There weren't too many green jerseys in the mix. And now trying to scramble forward is Chris Tier.
Keep coming, boys. Keep
From
coming.
the under-19
Go, 2.
European Championships as well, Chris Tier.
Stand 9. Here, Connor. Hold here, mate.
Skillful.
Hold. Go, 3. Thanks, mate. Okay, now, Connor.
On the halfway line.
Work here. Go, 4.
That ball has gone down. Curtis Tier, my apologies too, which he's just reminded me.
I've got it. You're in front, mate.
Will be a penalty for New Zealand Maori. I suppose the interruptions have made it somewhat slow at times, the game, but they're sorting each other out. They'll pick it up in the second half, but at the moment, they're just counteracting each other. There have been some strong efforts, don't get me wrong, but no team has really claimed the ascendancy and momentum.
Probably one notable conclusion here is that probably the effort from the forward rotation for the New Zealand Māori side,
Keep coming.
particularly with Chaz Brown coming on, have really started to dominate that middle third.
It's a decent run here, and once again calling into Tony Burns, has to draw on all his best defensive skills. Now down the right side, it's Tui Tama. Lovely run from Francis Ledger. He's been excellent through the year. Of course, the captain of the Akarana squad that won the New Zealand Rugby League Premiership, Francis. And again, he shows his skill. Very popular player among his teammates as well. And New Zealand's Player of the Year last year, Francis Ledger, with us today. He was telling me that he grew up not so familiar with his Taha Māori side, but when he checked back through his genealogy, he realised that one of his nanas had connections into the Hokianga. So he made a point of going up to the north as well and introducing himself, fully embraced by that side of his whānau, and with many players and, in fact, with many people in our country with these cross-cultural connections. It's wonderful he's able to celebrate this side of his own ancestral history, and he's proud to be involved as a New Zealand Maori player, and of course ton of talent as well. And he scores a wonderful try just 5 metres in from the far touch.
Seemed to struggle on that left edge. You can see Scott Sparvin defending on that left edge, but the combination Tuitama and Ledge has been a great one for the New Zealand Māori side. Just that in and away from Tuitama, he's got a lot to his game, such a wide skill set.
It's a pretty simple game plan so far down that right tacking edge for the Māori residents side. Boys, just get Sparvin one-on-one with Ledger one-on-one with Sparvin, the halfback for the Community Lions side, and let the big man do his work. And it's coming off twice now.
You would have seen Francis Ledger a bit during your club efforts with Point Chev over the years as well. What do you see as his best skill set?
He's really come on as a leader in the last couple of years. Captain the Point Chev side this year. When I sort of first saw him, he was quiet, very skillful. Now he's got that skill, and he also talks a hell of a lot on the field. So that's an asset for any team.
To say he's a popular figure because of his constant commitment. He gives us all each and every time he plays, whatever the game or scenario. He loves his footy, and that inspires those around him. So the Community Lions will be looking to create an opportunity, jar a tackle, turnover possession. And on the other hand as well, the Māori players know that they need to be very conscious of keeping the ball tight.
Go to 18, you're leaving too early, mate.
To get to the back end of their sets and to work downfield. Danny Hurst continues to work hard on defence as well. Now again with Ledger, and again exposed to his creativity with ball in hand, pops the pass back, keeping it alive as well. Maori starting to wind it up. Rangi puts the ball down. Well, it was just starting to look a little promising, Richie B.
Yes, great work there. Expansive style of play. Really like the service from Jethro Friend, and you've seen the pass and delivery from Trent Wallace. Getting to the player at ease and just a fraction of a second quicker.
Lines.
You just see the delivery here. Jethro's been fantastic, in Francis Ledger, he's absolutely turned them inside and out on the right edge. And offload here to Itama. And the pass just behind. But Wairangi would have had probably a free road into underneath the sticks.
But again, we saw Ledger, he stumbled into forward righted himself and then was able to deliver the ball. Now this is good play down the right edge for the Community Lions. Māori defenders come across to make life difficult for Gareth Gale. In the end, he has nowhere to go. They're forced to go to ground. Parford Brown into the defensive mix as well, and jersey number 17. The Waikato skipper. Inside the 30 now, and 8 metres in for the eastern touchline. Fed on by O'Brien, as we say, in jersey 26. Scotty Spaven under some pressure as well. Good defence by the green and whites. Coach Sean Clark could be pretty pleased with the way they're going at the moment. 18-12 scoreline. Sean, the successful coach for the Fox Memorial Championship this year. As such, an opportunity here with the New Zealand Māori squad. He should be justifiably proud of his achievements. First time as a coach to take a proud club like Howard into win the biggest title in domestic rugby league here in New Zealand, you'd have to say. Auckland is the powerhouse, really. I think that'll be acknowledged by our friends in Canterbury and other regions. And Sean Clark, with a wonderful playing career as well, turned his hand to coaching and has enjoyed considerable success As an emerging coach, a newbie, you could say. The penalty here, Buckinson. To Maori on the 40-metre line. Not long to go till half-time. Decent tries, 5 have been scored so far. Doyle just early on, and then Toto Purcell with that powerhouse run from close range. That's a sledger, of course, for New Zealand Māori. On the other hand, Ben Hayes and Dixon have crossed the line for the tourists, and this is once again Trent Wallace. Naitahu plays for the Mount Albert squad, also played in the Fox Memorial final. And once again, bullocking runs through the middle. You're getting great field position for the Māori squad. Across to Darren Kingy, Chaz Brown. Well, the defence from the Community Lions read Chaz's run well. Driven him back. I was about to say, but he was able to maintain possession. That's not the case, Richie.
No, but it was fantastic defence from the Community Lions. Just aiming up, and really, the mountain of a man comes through. He's been dynamite. He's played on the right, he's played on the left, he's playing through the middle. But the defensive qualities, and that's a great effort there from Ben Hayes. All back.
But they're keeping themselves in the game, that's for sure. We'll get them for a bumper second half. You get the feeling here, why?
Yeah, indeed. And I think the Lions side will be looking forward to the half-time whistle. The last couple of sets have really been bent back, and they've been struggling. Hence the reason they gave away the penalty to get down to into their own goal in the first place. But
here, Matty. Hold here, mate.
Work their way out after that penalty.
It is hot there. I know that you're working sideline as well. These guys will be sucking in the big ones at the moment. And like you say, they'll be looking for a chance to have a little breather. And what a pretty challenging conditions here in the Sulphur City today.
Yes, indeed. It is very warm. Thankfully, that breeze is up down here. Well, it's at the back of the Māori residents team side, so it favours them a little bit throughout this first half. And I'm sure they'll be looking forward to getting on the back of that and taking advantage of that win in the second half. The Lions I'm talking about.
Here's a penalty for Shepherd.
Stopped on the line, mate. Obstruction.
No obstruction there. Not in agreement. Jamie Tracy, who...
Wow. Oh, it's a fair call.
Yeah, fair enough, Rich?
I thought they might have been very unlucky, but a great call, Taki.
Well, came back from Hamilton last night. Whānau involved, of course, here in the National Māori Tournament. You stayed there last night. Did you get any sleep, or did the Tongan partying through the main drag of Hamilton keep you awake?
They certainly were. They were up and down the street all night, beeping the horns, flags going. It was fantastic. I mean, what a great result.
Richie was coming down the motorway from Auckland for last night's game and encountered a boat on a trailer festooned with Tongan flags. Must have been, I don't know, about 20 flags on this boat. But it looked like a boat that's never seen the water.
It's nice to watching the All Blacks last night too, but seeing Paul Sculthorpe.
Come on, go back.
Great Britain player.
Take him back.
Early 90s. Brilliant player.
We've had a run of penalties. High against your side. Here's the opportunity here in half-time. Talk to them. Yeah. Don't want any more. Yeah. Especially down the centre field. Yeah. All right.
Frank King gets the message there. Rothbro.
Come on.
Well, still getting into it, isn't he, Marcus O'Brien? He's a brave dude, there's no doubt about that. Here's New Zealand Māori now. Will they able to post a score or a try in the last minute of this first half? Certainly, the Community Lions won't want that to happen. Here's Chaz Brown threatening, close to the line, and they're picked off. Brown, he's quick to his feet though. Darren Kingy to acting half. Bullets the pass across to Wyatt Rangi. It then opens it up for Slade. Now the cut-out ball for Wallace finds Ledger. There's Doyle, he won't need him though, because Francis is in for number 2.
It's open slather on the right, isn't it? Francis Ledger's got so much space. And it's the ball, the delivery of Trent Wallace on a number of occasions. He's made the right options. He's defended extremely well on the right edge. But he's getting the ball to the right players at the right time. Look at the delivery here. And right over the top. Lovely ball in front of Ledger. And that was just enough to get him on the outside of Jack Lazenby. And again, just a shorter pace on that left edge. Beautiful work.
What about the take as well? It was well above him, Francis Ledger. We'll wait for the conversion attempt from Geronimo Doyle, who's been faultless so far. But again, some creativity after Brown was tackled a couple of metres out from the try line, Wairangi. But then the chain passing and the way the ball was couriered across field was very impressive.
Yeah, just a recognition by the New Zealand Maori side that they had numbers out there, and obviously Francis Ledger is having a field day down that right edge. I thought it was a brave call by the Maori side not to actually take 2 points and go 8 points ahead going into half-time, but they backed themselves and it worked.
And Geronimo Doyle has been exceptional. Some talk of him going offshore. I'm pleased that he's decided to stay, or at this stage. Many of our young men who love rugby league also like the opportunity of travelling. We'll go across and play in England, even in amateur contests. My brother was an example. My tuakana went over there, said some of the best blokes he ever met in his life was playing amateur football across in England. And the chance to see another part of the world and mix with like-minded people who love the 13-man code. Doyle is unsuccessful this time around, but a very good result so far in the match for New Zealand Maori. Hope you're enjoying the action on the second game of the England's Community Lions tour. At halftime here in Rotorua, it's the Maori Residents 22, Community Lions 12.
Just keep working hard, mate. Stay behind!
Into the second half, and it is New Zealand Maori who lead the action here, 22-12. Of course, it can quickly change. The Community Lions will be aware of that. Wairangi Korpu is sidelined with us today. They would have relished the break, wide, but work to be done. Important that they get away to a decent start here in the second 40.
Yes, indeed, Dale, and they've got that win at their back, so they're looking to take advantage of that. Just speaking to some of the coaching staff for the Community Lions side. On the other side of the coin, the New Zealand Maori Residents, Sean, the coach Sean was adamant that they really need to rip in for the rest of this 40 minutes and minimise as many errors as possible. We see that's where they got their advantage from in the first half.
Derek King, he's been exceptional as a distributor. He's got a very cool head, the number 6. And this time a promising run down the left edge. Doesn't come to fruition, but still the intent quite obvious. The Community Lions will get the scrum feed and will welcome that opportunity on the 20-metre line.
Well, they had the Community Lions in 6s and 7s. One of the Lions turning his back. And then they had a 4-on-3 on the left edge. The ball just goes astray. With Marcel Connell just getting the ball just behind him. And as we mentioned before, he's got genuine pace. Would have been all over.
It's time for some of these big English players to step up, create something through the middle. They've got a ton of speed out wide. Gareth Gale can really go. Curtis Tears, perhaps the fastest in the squad. Parfrey Brown working there on defence.
Hold him, Eddie. Hold! Go to.
Play the ball, and it again is Marcus O'Brien finding a workhorse in Jamie Tracy. He's to ground now, 8 metres short of the halfway, trying to build here. Good run as well from O'Brien, showing plenty of courage. As we know, he's taped up for taking a serious whack to the nose, and that kind of ball has gone down. And Maori have it on the far side of the field. They want to stay in the field of play. Through the hands, wide Rangi. I love the tackle. Love the attitude there from the Community Lions. Sadly for them, though, didn't allow the player to get up and play the ball. The old ankle grab, and he's come a cropper.
Well, that was brilliant work. Defensively sound. The opportunity on the right. Look at this tackle. That's aggression. But the opportunity to score on that right edge, that short side, just short of making the mark there. Carl Dixon.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Wyatt Rangi. He's always probing, and he's got some decent shimmy as he hits the line as well. As Chaz Brown takes the ball into play. Parfrey Brown. There's a few Brown boys out there today when I look at this lineup. Chaz, Parfrey as well.
Behind.
Decent run. Oh, and a great result for Tohovaka. Caleb Tohovaka. Good lead-up work. It's quickly into stride, go NZM, and they're in for another try, kicking it out to 26-12.
Certainly just one-on-one. Tohovaka has come on, and the isolation on the left edge. He's a big body, but he uses his footwork just to get around. Close to the ruck, a veer in and away. Look at that, and a nice short ball. Too big, too strong.
Caleb Tohovaka from the Hornby Club. Proud franchise in Canterbury Rugby League. And Caleb with connections into the South Island D with Tahu. Pretty average D in the end by Gavin Roden, who had a chance to wrap him up. It's a big, strong, strapping bloke, Tohovaka. He gets to score about 10 to the right-hand side of the post. Geronimo Dawes been pretty good today, and a big chance here. Yeah, Tohovaka has came in and made his mark pretty quickly, Wairangi.
Yeah, hatahi te pakari o te paumua Tohovaka. He's a sizable back row as Tohovaka. Great run there. Rodden actually put it, Gavin Rodden, number 19 for the Community Alliance, put his hand up straight away and apologised to his boys for missing that tackle. He felt the impact straight away. Things are going to get a little bit tougher for the Community Alliance forward pack. They just lost their number 13, Chris Siddons, who failed his HIA.
For him as well. So Siddons, he's been one of the best as well. Scored a try against the North Island selection, 28-12 now. The Maori squad were pleased to have scored early in that second 40. And, really can go down to discipline issues. The penalty off the Wairangi, tackle. Maori to get some momentum into field position. Capitalised there from close range as well by the number 16. We go to Scott Spaven. More work here for O'Brien.
Go in the middle, mate. There's the crossfoot.
He's not going to be able to see the ball, O'Brien, with much tape on.
More tape than the Abbey Road recording studios.
Time to run!
That's an old term anyway, because everything's digital these days, Richie B. Okay. Liking the attitude here from the big Maori forwards. He's been turtled here as well by the Community Lions, who really need to get hold of the football in this part of the field. 21 gone. 21 metres, I should say, on this set. There he is, the try scorer, Tohovaka.
Get square!
Fell short of halfway. Holds to his feet. Friend. Elevas Varangi. Commitment there from Marcus to make the tackle on the big second rower. He showed some wonderful touches. There's a decent climb up too into Mahingarangi. D from Gareth Gale.
Nothing
Kingy. What are the standouts, Darren Kingy? This one goes sort of midfield.
First, second.
Knock on from Tuitama. Interesting Moko there. Number 13, celebrating his favourite position, no doubt.
With your foot. Go. Zero. Chaz, get up! Wait here. Wait! Wait!
Chaz Brown continues to impress in his work. This is Roden trying to make up for a little faux pas that resulted in the try to Tohovaka a few moments ago.
Go, 2. 16 on it.
Inside enemy territory. Some decent defence put on here from Tuitama.
Work hard here, mate.
Up as well,
Go,
Brown. Run with attitude there from Tony Burns, but the defence also is equal to that challenge. And kicked pretty ordinary from Carl Dixon. You see it from the moment it went off the boot. It was not going to be favourable for the Community Lions, who are struggling a little bit to get any real rhythm, Wairangi.
Yes, indeed. You can just see the shoulders and heads drop a little bit, especially after the first couple of minutes of this second half. They just haven't really found a rhythm since they've sort of scored their tries. I'm sure that Richard Owens, the coach for the Community Lions side, will be howling messages at the trainers to try and get these guys to pick their intensity up.
8 gone second half. Good performance so far for the Sean Clark coached local squad here in Rotorua at the International Stadium. We'll back it up.
Mate, I need you to wait till I get the call out.
Which also hosted a Mitre 10 fixture on Friday night here. The remnants of which still evident on the field. Of course, all that action, as you know, on Sky Sport, the home of New Zealand Sport, as we get to 35 metres out for the try line. Quick play the ball to his feet. And now out to Tuitama. Intent to soak it up with a conservative run this time around. On the 40-metre line, here's Jethro Friend. Plenty of people wanting to have a dig, and this is Caleb Tukovaha once again.
Hold! Go, 3.
Friend. Nice play for the 15, Shaz Brown.
Hold! Release! Hands on 3. Go, 4. Moved that forward on that one.
He's had his hands on everything today. He's impressed you too, Richie.
Certainly has. In fact, the whole front row rotation's been brilliant. They've owned that middle third. Nice little kick through.
Trent Wallace puts the pressure onto the back. Ben Hayes responds well. Steps around from 1, make that 2. Ben Hayes, he's elusive.
Hold here. Hold! Go. 1.
Certainly the spark they needed, isn't it?
Well, they need that to come and be followed up. Curtis Tier says, well, I can have a go as well, and does. But the Community Lions now need to put it together, and a little knock on. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back at the moment for the Moai.
Yeah, disappointing on the back of that run from Ben Hayes. He's only a tiny bugger. He might be 60 kilos with a wet T-shirt on, but he made short work of some of the defence of the New Zealand Maori side. They're just slipping through, but just all unravelled after that mistake.
Thanks for reminding us that you're a fan of wet T-shirt cops.
Very unfortunate for Curtis Tier. He really has cutted the ball up nicely. He's come up with a couple of mistakes.
Trent Wallace has, is that Friend coming off the back? I'll give another look at that. They made a little mistake, right? And they haven't made too many. They know they've been in the footy game. These Community Lions grimacing at the moment. Bit of ice welcome on a sweltering day here.
2 hands in. Out.
Marty done very well. 5 tries to 2 at the moment. 28-12 lead. Here are the Community Lions. This one is Roden. Puts the big fend on Tuitama. A lot of one out running at the moment. They need to find some synergy and to work better collectively. And another poor play of the ball. Blue after blue after blue. Mate, everyone's making them.
It's a knock on. It's a knock on.
Oh, they're making it difficult for themselves. Very one-dimensional. They haven't thrown a lot with the New Zealand Māori side. 3 or 4 occasions they've knocked it on as they're playing the ball. Very disappointing.
The New Zealand Māori Rugby League Board was formed in the Waikato the early 1930s, supported by the Kingitanga movement that saw rugby league as a good vehicle to create good habits for our Māori people. And it's had a proud tradition ever since. Once included in a World Cup campaign, that was way back in the year 2000, but really included to make up numbers. The argument quite complex. That sovereignty issues and geographical status. But I'm sure there are many supporters of New Zealand Māori Rugby League who would like to advance that sort of challenge and legal thinking to see a Māori squad included in getting an opportunity. Many local players who don't make the Kiwis, that's their whack jack. But for local players, say of Polynesian descent, if you don't make the Kiwis, you know, you're still a chance to go to the World Cup to represent Samoa or Tonga. So many feel that that disadvantages Māori in our own land. But it is a complex argument. The legal law lords of Britain involved last time, if I recall. It was nearly 20 years ago. So it'll be something to be advanced in the not too distant future. Right now, though, they'll be pretty comfortable with where they are, New Zealand Maori, as we see them defending strongly. Down the short side come the Community Lions once again. 2000 team. Nico was involved in as well. I'm sure Dean Bell's old man was the coach, if I recall rightly.
I was there, Dale.
Oh, you were there too, why don't you?
It was a very proud moment to represent my iwi on the World Cup stage.
Ka pai, mate. Thanks for reminding me, you old dude.
Who else was in that side? Why?
Off the ball.
Clinton Torpy, Odell Manuel. Who else was there?
Toa Koe Love.
Yeah, Toa Koe Love. It was a good squad, as I remember. Terry Hermanson.
Oh, yes.
David Kidwell.
Solomon, lead him up, Solomon.
Got knocked out in the quarters by Ireland,
Hold. Go, one.
I think.
No, we got knocked out in the pool down.
Okay. Let's not go there. Here we go, though. It's the Community Lions who are over on the far side of the field, and it's their skipper, Fran King. But we're pontificating about results and players of the year 2000. The Community Lions are stitching one together, and they needed to as well. Good time for them to score. 14 into the second half, it's 28-16. Kick to come, gets another look at it. It's O'Brien, then shuffled through. Good from Hayes, and then out to King. Just what coach Richard Owen would have wanted from them.
Nice work there from Carl Dixon, taking the line to the line, or the ball to the line, and just holding up the defence a fraction of a second for Fran King to get some little space and time. He has not had the ball in hand. They've been starved on the edges, as is the Community Lions, and more tape. If it goes any higher, it's going to cover his eyes.
Must be uncomfortable.
Unbelievable.
It must be uncomfortable to play like that, but, you know, again, showing the courage. Talk about flat noses, it'll be, he'll leave Rotorua looking like a Maori man. So that's just what the Community Lions have needed here.
That's outstanding. Breathe through the mouth only.
He's got no blood circulation from the ears up.
His pigs will be looking back from home thinking, oh my goodness, what's happened here? So Ryan Wilson looking to the cream on the cake. Difficult conversion for the left footer. Here we go. He hits it again, quite magnificently, and he raises the flags. So a very good result. As Fran King gets in, the 54th minute, 28-18, 10-point ball game. Hope you're enjoying the action here from Rotorua's International Stadium as part of the Maori Rugby League tournament weekend. Here they are, the Community Lions. Fran King in to score from Wathbro. And the skipper, and a timely reminder that they're pretty hearty characters from England, from Yorkshire. They'll be proud to wear this red and white jersey. And they won't stop trying, that's for sure. 17 gone in the second half. 10-point ball game.
Stay behind.
That's Geronimo Doyle with the restart. Let's hope that the tourists can just string a few things together here. Very important off the back of a try to maintain composure and to get to the back end of your set.
Absolutely, and it just lifts the intensity. Blood is boiling. And certainly the tempo needs to shift up because they're jamming quite hard. The New Zealand Maori side, they're shifting up in the middle. The line speed's been great throughout this whole match.
That little offload again suggests that they're wanting to try something different. The one off running through the middle wasn't working for them. King's try giving them a little bit of momentum, and the courageous Marcus O'Brien carries it inside the 40-metre line where he'll play the ball quickly. Shuffled on out to Spaven, who looks to link up. He's got Lazenby here, and Lazenby found himself in trouble.
Knock on by Maori. Knock on Maori. Touched, Maori.
Maori have touched the ball, so the Community Lions will get it again. Wasn't much room down the left-hand side. Is certainly squeezing Curtis Tier, but it was Geronimo Doyle's hand that put the ball to ground and right on the money. Pucky Parkinson with his decision.
I like the injection of Ben Hayes coming onto the ball. He's creating a bit of space. Just drawing two players and getting the ball out wide to Lazenby. Nice little offload. So close to getting that ball out wide.
Well, if anyone was despondent at the half-time break, they won't be now. There's plenty of time left, and the man you were just talking about, you put the commentator's curse on. The young fella, Benny Hayes, puts the ball to ground. And Maori with it. 13 metres, short of halfway.
Okay, stand up! Here! Go, 2.
Coming up through the middle. In black and white, Shaz Brown. Brandon Lee sent it on the inside.
Okay, stand 7! Give space!
Brandon Lee.
Hold, go 4.
Proudly from Tati Honui. He too is with the Howard Club. As the kick downfield, threatening to go into touch. Here he is again. The young fella tries to get out into the field of play. They pick him up. Post him across the dead ball line as well. Ben Hayes under pressure. Thinking for a moment he's going to bounce out. Didn't bounce favourably for him.
That was a superb kick. The bounce favourable New Zealand Māori side. But the kick just perfectly weighted right in the corner makes it so difficult for the fullback to come out of trouble. Ben Hayes physically manhandled.
Yeah, Francis Ledger pick him up, push him across the dead ball. What a great day it is here in Rotorua as it comes for Trent Wallace. Buffalo Brown.
Aiden off the ball and square. Go 1.
That's Valangi. O'Brien teaming up with Wilson for the defensive work. 30 metres out from the try line, New Zealand Māori starting to build some momentum. Tane Pake is in the role of distributor right now. As mentioned, both his dad and Koro played proudly in the New Zealand Māori jersey. And, Pake wanted to get on with it quickly.
Wait. Go back, Francis. Take him back.
It's an,
Is that an accusation of a bite?
Accusation, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
But it was in his mouth.
Francis, take them back.
was in his mouth,
Take
he
them
said.
back. Bring them
I
there.
don't know, we'll have to back it up. It's an accusation of a bite.
We can't go do that silly stuff. There'll be penalty here. Let's have a talk.
That's
Talk to them.
accusation, you said.
That's fine. We'll put on a report.
So we'll have a look at that later on. There's no place for biting in the game, of course.
Yep, Mark's here. Put on a report. Make sure it's behind.
I don't know if that was definitive, but it's an uncomfortable accusation, Wairangi.
Yeah, a strange one. You know, it's not something you see very often. It's a dog act if it was a bite. But yeah, it didn't look like there was any damage done, really. Just unfortunate, really, if that is the case.
Well, they'll have a look at it. I don't think the skin was perforated. Not that that makes a difference. It's really about intent, isn't it? Let's not dwell on that negativity. We'll ride with the Community Lions as they look to fight their way out of a deficit. They're down by 10. That ball is decent. Totua Purcell is back onto the field. Scored a wonderful try, and then these sorts of mistakes have really made life more difficult than it need be for the Community Lions. And of course you have to be accurate and play those little percentage plays well. That's not the case. A lot of mistakes, unforced errors. being made at the moment by the community
Let's
Lions.
go, Lions, we're here.
In saying that, Trent Wallace steps in to feed the scrum here.
Tight. Arm over.
Trent's a very experienced player. Wonderful contributor to our local league scene, as well as the ball is in the hands of his teammate out wide. Lazenby makes the tackle on the 40-metre line. 10 in from the eastern touchline. Bit of breeze at the back of the community Lions. Coming into play again, Tuitama continues to impress with his attitude and skills here in the local game. Decent defensive effort, moving up quickly to Jamie Tracy. A lot like about Jamie's game.
He's been fantastic coming off the bench, and he's really added some starch, and he's carried the ball extremely well. Good ball movement here from New Zealand Maori, and great defence equally from the Canterbury Lions, the community Lions.
And this is Totua Purcell.
Hold here, 26. Hold! Go!
Known all season as Connor, but I'm pleased that here in this situation he finds himself, that he wants to include another name to acknowledge that Māori side of him. The Totua name is a proud name, and Connor Totua Purcell. Connor. These men very proud to wear the green jersey, as you have been as well during your career, Wailangi.
Solomon's not there.
Indeed, it's a proud moment. Represent your iwi and traditions and where you grew up.
Here's an intercept. Call this one home wide.
He's got the base. Darren Kingy with the pass back on the inside. Marcel Cornell. He was blowing the big ones. Darren Kingy.
We blame the heat.
I like the way as soon as he took the chance, he said, I don't know if he's going to get there.
You were certainly waiting. This speculator. He read that well, Darren Kingy. He was waiting for the speedster. Look at that. He's just gliding through Marcel Connell, and he scores his first try, the youngster.
An intercept there from Darren. Ben Hayes was gaining on him, and but the popped pass here was skillful too. Here comes Hayes, and just weights it perfectly. Marcel Connell was right where he should be as well. So that'll be disappointing, having built an opportunity for themselves and down just by 10. Māori streak away for a somewhat unexpected try. Of course, with connections to the Ellerslie Eagles club as well. Marcel, the young fella, but obviously with a great reputation. There they go. A few handsome young Māori kids. Let's get another look at them. Happy to be at the 42. Good stuff, boys. There's Geronimo. Had a song written about him. Say, Geronimo. You know that one? Say, Geronimo. Yep. Top of the song. But he's a music lover. Here he comes, Geronimo Doyle. Will he? Won't he? Let's see if he can curve this one around. He's been pretty good so far today. Up, up, and around it comes.
$14 points, what a ripper, eh? Geronimo Doyle. He's kicked extremely well, 14 points for the day. 34-18 for the New Zealand Māori side. A lot of work here for the community Lions to come back. They've had some options, some variation in the last 10 minutes. Come up with a lot of unforced errors.
Well, they knew they're up for a challenge here after overcoming the North Island selection to step up in class here against New Zealand Māori. And I tell you what, they better anticipate a tough encounter with New Zealand residents as well, because those guys are coming off some recent footy, and they'll be in good nick. Of course, Andrew Almatangi, the coach of the Canterbury squad, has the New Zealand residents role. And, he's got some good men turning up from a bit of a problem here for Ryan Wilson. He went straight to ground.
This will be tackle 3. Solomon has the ball.
Vasivalangi. We'll get another look at the collision, but there is immediate concern as
Solomon, let's ball down here, please,
as
mate.
well. There should be for Ryan Wilson at the moment. He's on his back. He's really been in the wars today.
Well, oh, look at that. A head clash. And it revolves around Vasivalangi on a number of occasions where there was a head clash early on, and Marcus O'Brien was involved in that. And it's continued on. Chris Siddons early on, he went off. So they've had some issues throughout this whole match. It's been a tough old day.
Well, I guess why, if you're being Big Solomon coming forward, you know, you got to keep your head out of the way. He's a lump of a guy, and those who hit his head seem to come off second best. He doesn't lead with the head, but the technique on defence has been tough. I'm pleased to see that he's sitting up on his haunches now, Ryan Wilson. But, he won't be feeling too good, I don't think.
Yeah, it's tough, mate. By the end of this game, I'm going to be scared to give Solomon Vasivalangi a hongi, to be honest. I'm afraid I might get HRA.
That'll be a first. That would be a first, an HIA. After giving someone a hongi. There's lots to love about the way that he plays his footy, though. Trying to peel the meters off through the middle, too. This is Tony Paki. Another penalty.
There, swinging arm. Play on, I'm on.
Paki decides, oh, I'll have a go again. Discipline could be an issue. Apparently a swinging arm is what referee Paki Parkinson witnessed. So to a Purcell, he's there again. Vasivalangi, that one's been knocked on by Trent Wallace. He regathers. The scrum feed will be
happy with their contact
with the Community Lions now. Just 15 out from their line.
Nice interchange passing again. Seen it a number of occasions. Vasivalangi, not the ball runner, has played ball a little. Nice tip-ons at the line, making it difficult defensively to defend the big boppers on the edge.
Fucking not ready. Wait. Ball
34-18. An entertaining game. It would be, wouldn't it? The amount of tries that have been scored, but it's something of a mistake-a-thon at times as well for the visitors, who are really their own worst enemies here at times with unforced errors. With hands up, acknowledging to teammates that I've made a blue, but doesn't help the situation, does it?
Yeah, probably a little bit frustrating for this side at the moment, including the coach. We can probably see that from the swinging arm penalty that they received, but I just paid credit to Mahinga Rangi there. That was a hell of a tackle just below the ball.
Crossfield they work. New Zealand Maori building. Here's Geronimo Doyle. He's a hot stepper. He's almost away, but the tackle is effective by Roden. The 20 in. Paki Tuitama. Decent D this time around, but the threat remains for the Community Lions. Will go to the right side this time. On to Wairangi, shows it and then takes it in himself. Clever and skillful play from the fullback. That's his first here this afternoon, but he scored plenty through the year. And remind you that he, of course, was the Fox Memorial Player of the Year in 2019. And that's one of the reasons why he's good close to the line.
And when you've got speed out wide, the delivery from the dummy half here, which was superb. Paki delivers the ball in front, just a fraction of a second. He shaped a kick. He had them held off for a brief second there, the defensive line of the Lions, but look at this. Shapes the kick and accelerates through, and a door leaves open there for White.
That was a little bit Benji Marshall-esque. A little bit of a show, a little bit of a dummy kick, slot through the hole. Fantastic work.
He's light on his feet, isn't he? We've seen him sort of that also Sheck-like shimmy, I suppose, as he hits the defensive line, but he sort of outfoxed, I guess you could say, Roden, who was out wider, and on the inside was it Spaven, who was brought undone by his elusive skills. Teams in the background warming up for the next range of finals, the Waka final here at the National Maori Tournament. Doyle with a chance to add the extras here. 38-18 at the moment with a kick to come for Maori. They're looking pretty tired, perhaps somewhat bedraggled. The English Lions, another good kick. They're showing us how it's done today, Geronimo.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. He's kicked the ball extremely well. And again, the shift out wide, just getting speed on the edge. They've exploited that on a number of occasions. When Francis Ledger's had the opportunity on the right edge, a number of occasions, using his skill set.
Everyone's moving too early.
Tui Tama has been brilliant throughout this whole game.
Thank you.
Added some variation in his footwork and offload.
Time you're on.
40-18. Coming up to the last 8 minutes of this encounter. Game 2 on a 3-match tour for the Community Lions, and it's Toto Purcell. He's barreling his way forward as well. Goes but one way, Connor. They can really set a nice platform because 2 or 3 defenders usually get dragged in to shut him down. It creates opportunities out wider.
26, you're too early.
Now everyone's putting their hands up for around this time. It's Brandon Lee. And he's picked off in the tackle of Ryan Wilson, who fortunately is okay after the head clash with Vasavalangi. Now to Hayes. Like you say, he's wouldn't look out of place on the horse, would he, that bloke?
Don't lock him in. Go, one. Shorten it.
I like little guys in rugby league, you know. I think that they just add another dimension. But then again, Richie, I do like genuinely big guys as well. But when you look, the likes of a Slater, who was going to be a jockey anyway, how effective he's been. He's really transformed the way that fullback work is seen. And look at the effectiveness of big guys like George Rose,
Pappenhausen, Curtis Scott.
They're all of us.
They're all slight build.
Yeah.
But they've got strength. I mean, their strength conditioning, they just build it over years, but so quick, but yeah, nimble. And that's the Melbourne Storm. Here he is.
Speaking of nimble, look at this run. Marcel Connell, we already picked up that nice try from the inside pass from Darren Kenny, and this time it shows why he was chosen. As mentioned, they had spotters around the country, and then they nominated various players of Māori descent. In the end, without a physical trial, the team was chosen, but it's nicely balanced here for Sean Clark. This man's being very good, and so's Geronimo Doyle, the one over the top from Tui Tama. The runner is inside. Doyle, does he use him? No, he doesn't. And I think that perhaps Trent Wallace would have a right to be a little aggrieved that Geronimo couldn't link up with him.
Not square, mate.
Not square in the play of the ball as well, Ryan Wilson.
Mark's out here.
Doyle had runners on the inside. I think that it was shaping up pretty well. The offload from Tui Tama was wonderful. But now with numbers down the left-hand side and Connell flying down, the ball has gone forward here. Marcel Connell looking to put it back on the inside. 5 to go.
Yeah, Geronimo Doyle didn't capitalise on that right edge play. He had plenty of space, and as a winger here, you get the opportunity from Francis Ledger. You make it pay, and look at this, he should have stayed. He went in and away and came back again when he should have come in, and then deviated away, holding the defensive line up, getting flat-footed, and then use your pace on the edge.
There's a traditional Māori word to describe that play, boys. It's called hungus.
You are kidding.
Hey, listen,
there was no back rower coming through the middle to support, so that's why us wingers and fullbacks.
Blinging wingers, mate. they can't pass the ball, obviously. They only catch and score.
Could you assess Matty Tui Tama's contribution today for us, please, Wilder? You played a lot of second row, and I just feel that he's been everywhere. He's still having a go here now. Misses that time. Here's a run. Here's a run. That is a great run. We've been wanting to see Curtis on the fly, and this time we get a chance to witness it as well. Curtis Tier, literally, as his name implies, does just that down the left edge and is in to score a try. And putting a bit more respectability back into the scoreline. Curtis Tier was just singing the raps of Tui Tama as well, and he didn't quite have the legs this time around. But he's worked so hard through the 76 minutes. He can understandably not go with the flying wing up. That's Matty there. And Curtis. Curtis with purpose. Good run from him.
Yeah, he's a work horse, Tui Tama. Every team that he plays in, just gets stuck in, does his job. Yeah, does the tough stuff when the tough stuff needs to be done. He runs those lines when they're in good ball. And he tries his hardest to chase down fast wingers.
And that's what you want, isn't it? The interchangeability of guys who play second row. So many really good centres as well, as we've seen over the years. But that time Tier was just a little bit too quick. But the attitude of Tui Tama was also worth some admiration. Is the conversion straight through the cow horns. The blue sky in the background. Hope you've enjoyed today's action here. 42-24. It was 22-12 at half-time for New Zealand's Maori. Satisfactory hit out for them. And there is a hope that they get a chance to play many games of this type against touring teams. That's a challenge to some of our Australian squads who might like to come and be part of this tournament. It's really neat that Sky Sport were able to provide coverage across our country and indeed back to England as well of this match. And the way it has been, I guess, enveloped by what is occurring around it, this wonderful celebration of Māori Rugby League annually in Rotorua this year, but he could be going to Taranaki next year. A wonderful occasion for many who perhaps don't get a chance to visit that part of Aotearoa. Pushing away Danny Hurst. It's a little like the former Warriors fullback with his swerving style. This man's tried hard all day. Ryan Wilson. There might be another one here in the last minute and a half or thereabouts. As we look to wrap it up. Most courageous today's Marcus O'Brien. He's been taped from head to toe, nearly. It's been awkward for him, but he's courageous. And that, there's no doubt, the inside ball was good thinking. And it's still on. Okay, well, now they want to show a little trickery. On the far side, one of the most impressive today for the Community Lions as well has been Jamie Tracy. He's had a decent go. On to O'Brien. Looks to thread the needle, but reading it nicely is Wyatt Rangi, who picks up the football and shuts himself down. Inside the field of play. Tries to Doyle, Toto Purcell, 2 to Francis Ledger. 3 tries in the second half through Torvaka. Another to Rangi, getting the 40 points for the home team. Ben Hayes and Dixon crossed in that first half. It's been followed up by Fran King and Curtis Tier as well in the second. 40-24. Big scoring encounter. A lot to like about the attitude on show here today. It's Curtis Tier. Looking forward to seeing more from him. Some of these guys might get a chance to go further into rugby league professionalism, perhaps. I'm sure we'll be keeping an eye on an opportunity, but big ups to the Community Lions for the attitude they've brought here to Rotorua, building on that reputation that was enhanced with their efforts in Taupo a couple of days ago. Full time here at Rotorua International Stadium. An entertaining game of rugby league. In the end, New Zealand Māori residents successful with a 40-24 result over the touring England Community Lions.